Let's take a look at an example of using variables where we would like to generate a username. So if we take a look at Discord, you may notice that the username at the bottom of your account is formed by taking the display name and joining it with an underscore and then a random number. In our example here, we're going to generate a username using a similar process where we're going to ask the user to type in their first name and then ask the user to type in their age. And finally, we're going to display your username is, take what they typed in as their first name, join it to an underscore, and then join it to whatever they typed in as their age. We're going to construct an algorithm, which is a series of steps that will make up our program. So you can see that there are going to be three main steps. In the first step, we're going to ask the user to type in their first name. Then we're going to ask the user to type in their age. And then finally, we are going to display your username is, and then join together what they typed in as their first name, followed by an underscore, and then what they typed in as their age. So the key point is, how do we get information from the first line of code, so that is when they typed in their first name, how do we get that information down to the last line of code? Similarly, how do we get information from the second line of code, which is where they typed in their age, down to the last line of code, so it gets joined to the end of the first name and the underscore? The thing in Python is that the lines of code do not and cannot communicate directly with each other. So the first line here, which for example we're going to represent as the student, cannot talk directly to the last line of code, which we're going to represent as another student. So it's as if the first student is silenced and cannot communicate directly to the third student. So the way we get around that is, even though the lines of code cannot communicate directly with each other, we can store information inside variables. So we're going to expand the first line of code to say that after the user types in their first name, we are going to put whatever they typed in into the name variable. So the name variable you can imagine as a little envelope with a piece of paper in it with the information, and that envelope has a label on it, which in this case is called name. So whatever the user types in as their first name is going to be stored inside that envelope called name. And then when we get to the last line of code, the student at the end there, because she can't directly hear the information from the first student, it will need to look inside the envelope to retrieve that information. And in this case, the envelope we're looking for is the one with name on it. So that's how we can communicate between the first line of code and the last line of code. Let's take a look at the next line now, where we're asking the user to type in their age. So the same situation applies. That line of code cannot communicate with the last line of code. So what it will need to do, it's going to put that information into a variable. And this time, the variable is called age, not name. And then the last line of code will also need to look inside the age variable and use the information it finds inside that variable to construct the username. So at the end of the day, we see that the three lines of code are all using variables. The first one is going to put information into the name variable. The second one is going to put information into the age variable. And the third line of code is going to look inside both of those variables and construct the username from the information it finds in each of those variables.